Okay, so greetings to all delegates. So today I'll be presenting this topic entitled The Effectiveness of Interactive Stickers Used in Instagram Stories in Influencing Gen Z Perception of Brands. So why is this topic being developed? Because number one, um, this topic is a widely, interactive stickers has been widely used by users and brands across the globe. However, in terms of its research, it is still in its infancy where there are not many researches being done in Malaysia, locally as well as in global. So before I open up this topic, let's talk a little bit about Instagram on social media. As we know, Instagram used to be huge, and of course, right now it's still huge. However, we see big brands like TikTok coming in with even more things to talk about by Generation Z as well as the millennials. So, and of course, Instagram will need to constantly introduce new things. New things includes new features, new tools on their platform, which is one of them is interactive stickers. Interactive stickers, as we know, social media nowadays is not just social media per se. There are a lot of things that we can actually do on social media, on Instagram. Read news, find out news. We scroll when we are tired or when we are bored, or we just want to find out any information, news and updates on our favorite celebrity or favorite brands, or even purchasing, buying something on Instagram. So interactive stickers, it is a very, very useful tool. However, not all brands they know how to use this. So let's dive into this topic today. So if for any users in Instagram, we are all very familiar on using interactive stickers. If you go to the IG stories, so let's talk a little bit about IG stories first. IG stories are it allows users to capture whatever stories that they want to capture about themselves or whatever that is within for 24 hours that they can actually keep on the IG stories, and after that it will just go away. So I think this is what the generation today is. We just want to put it there for 24 hours, and then after that we move on to the next thing. We may not want to keep it there forever. So it comes, it goes. So IG stories, based on the research, a lot of users they prefer using IG stories as compared to normal posts and so on and so forth. Yep. So under IG stories, we will find interactive stickers here. So interactive stickers, if you scroll through, there are a lot of stickers. Even Instagram is developing new ones every day. So among the famous or the popular ones that are used by users and also brands, as you can see on the screen here, is location. We can put the location where we are at when we produce or create our stories. We can even add mentioned. That means we can mention the people that we want to tag and so on and so forth. We can even have questions. That means if you want to have ask questions to our users, like random questions, or it's like how was your day today, and so on, and what do you think of the color that I'm wearing today, questions. And then we have gifs, and of course we even have music as well. Music, it is yeah, you can have even music interactive stickers, and of course you can even ask polls and quizzes to users, where let's say the government has allowed us to go out to outdoor without wearing a mask. So you may want to ask your friends, your connection, hey, do you plan to wear or not to wear when you go outdoor? So there is a poll, there is a quiz. So it's no longer just us scrolling through, but we users and connections can actually interact with us. Same goes with brands as well. Consumers can actually interact with brands directly, and brands can actually get real-time feedback from consumers. So it is a very, very powerful tool when you talk about real time. It's no longer you need to wait for a day, you need to wait for a few days, several days to get the feedback from others, but you can get it real time. And the best thing is that users who follows the brand, not only brands would know the results, but users, they're curious. Hey, what do people do? They actually want to go outdoor without wearing a mask. I'm also very curious. So from there, I can actually see the results as well. So interactive stickers are not just to interact, to connect with you, but it gives a lot of information for both the users and also the brands. So that's why you can see a lot of brands, they are actually on Instagram and also using interactive stickers, especially during the pandemic, right? We will see a lot of more traditional brands which they once thought they may not want to be on social media, but they are forced to go on social media to connect with people. So it is not uncommon for brands to have Instagram account right now, but not all brands would have would use interactive stickers or would know how to use or even know the power of interactive stickers. So this is what we will dive in and how this would actually benefit brands in the long run. This is definitely a long run thing for brands to use. Yep. So I just want to introduce myself as a researcher together with my co-researcher, Cindy and also Nandini. We are from TAR-UC and from the Department of Communication. So let's begin first of all with understanding interactive stickers. So interactive stickers, they are, in basic terms, they are actually visual content with interactive features where I've mentioned already, where we can actually touch the screen and then choose or select the answer or whatever that the poll asks or the quizzes asks, or yeah, we can actually interact with the feature. And it mainly targets Generation Z, although millennials are also included as well. It increases brand reach. It influences Gen Z in their decision making process. So this is a very important point whereby there are researchers that also says that between website, physical store, and of course social media, which are the platforms that Generation Z would first go to find out information. Let's say they are interested in a pair of new sneakers. Do they actually go to the physical store directly, or do they go to the website or social media? So the first platform that Generation Z would go to is to Instagram or to Facebook. Mostly is Instagram when they want to find out something. They no longer to go to website. So there you can see that social media like Instagram is a very, very vital space to influence their decision making process. The right kind of information, the right kind of content, and even the right kind of purchase mood to allow them to purchase on social media is coming very, very important nowadays. So yeah, if even you will see like investment apps, right? Investment apps are mostly for, let's say, millennials and onwards, but of course they cannot forget Generation Z, where they are coming up already. So even investment apps, which are supposedly a serious thing, a more serious thing, right? Finance, right? But right now you will see investment apps, they are catering to the needs of Gen Z, where they are turning the app their application, their app, into even more vibrant, appealing app, just to target Generation Z. So moving on to the research objectives, we have three research objectives which will go step by step. So the first objective is that we want to find out Generation Z's perceptions of brands. We want to see how do they view brands, because if you talk about older generations, they may view brands as something as it's maybe they prefer something that is more established. But what about Generation Z? How do they view brands? Do they just view them as just brand XYZ? It doesn't matter as long as they provide them with what they need. And of course, we want to also know how do they perceive their relationship with brands. This is a very important thing to find out these days. It's no longer just this is brand per se, this is consumer, this is brand, this is consumer, this is brand. There's no relationship. However, today we are not surprised that we can find a friend. We look at brands as our friend. If you see it on Facebook, right? Brands like GSC, Golden Screen Cinemas, they call the person who is in charge of the social media postings, they call themselves as the admin, right? They put a persona, or they sort of give you a like a person image. When they post something, you know that the admin is posting, someone is posting, they're creating that persona. So from there, sometimes when you look at the postings, you feel that they understand you. You feel like they are like your friend. So there is a relationship, a connection, a very special connection there. So that's what you are trying to investigate as well. How do they perceive their relationship with brands? And then, of course, secondly, you want to determine Generation Z's their attitudes, whether is it positive, negative, and how do they feel their feelings? Is it warm? Is it happy? And so on and so forth towards brands who uses the interactive stickers to interact and engage with them. And lastly, we also want to study the impact of interactive stickers used by brands in order to engage on IG stories with Gen Z. And we want to find out Gen Z, right, when they see all these interactive stickers by their favorite brands, right? How do they respond? How do they react? What kind of actions do they take? Like um do they interact back? Do they actually participate in the things that the brands organize? And do they even share whatever that they are interested in from the stories, from the interactive stickers to their friends? So that is basically the objectives that we want to find out in this research. So as I've mentioned already, so interactive stickers are free to be used by users and brands. So you can see here on the screen, it is very customizable, in terms of the font, in terms of the color, in terms of the question, how you want to phrase it, how you want to put your images, and so on and so forth. It is very customizable, which is something that suits Generation Z very much, because Gen Z, we love to customize a lot. So don't restrict us in a frame, don't restrict us on anything. We just want to do it our way. So this is highly customizable. And of course, you will see it is very beneficial for brands to use. If, let's say, last time when you want to get feedback from your consumers, you need to wait like a week and so on to gather the feedback, the survey forms and so on. But right now, you get real time feedback from your consumers who follows you, who follow or don't follow you. For instance, let's say pizza launch a new flavor. Do you like the let's say black pepper pizza? How much do you like it? Or how much do you rate it? Or just now, the example that I said, that would you wear a mask when you go out right now? So they just want to get real time feedback. And the best part is not just brands would know the responses or the outcome, all the results of these feedback when they use interactive stickers. The best part is even users who follow the brands, who are curious about the responses of other users, are able to tell what are generally the what do people think about this pizza, or what do they think about wearing a mask, and so on. So that is the power of interactive stickers, and that is what brands can do with it. And of course, if you are a brand that is really targeting Gen Z, a lot of brands are actually, of course, they need to focus on Gen Z as well. Yeah. So they need to understand, how do they use social media? What do they use it for? If you ask me personally, there's a lot of things going on in terms of emotionally, and why do we use Instagram? Why do we go on social media? It's not just scrolling per se. The pandemic has of course given a lot of impact towards us in terms of how we use, how much time do we spend, and what do we use on social media. And of course, these big tech giant companies are also shaping the way we use it as entertainment, to entertain ourselves. A lot of things are given to us, even music, you can see here. Even connecting with people, building up a community of people on Instagram is a thing right now. Yep. So yes, for brands, they can no longer afford to shy away or take a back seat when it comes to knowing how to use the tools and the features by Instagram. And of course, Instagram, they are trying to pull advertisers. So what can Instagram give to advertisers that can make the brand more memorable, more significant, and that is remembered by consumers, is through all these new tools and new features. You will definitely see even more features in the coming up. So the research questions that are reflected from the objectives are What are Gen Z perceptions of brands and how do they perceive their relationship with brands? And number two is what are Gen Z's attitudes and feelings towards brands which use interactive stickers to interact and engage with them? And number three is how impactful are the interactive stickers used by brands to engage on Instagram stories towards Gen Z's responses and actions, including interaction, participation, and also sharing. So these are the research questions. And from our lead review, we of course we found out certain things like brands, they use social media platforms to create awareness. Definitely, a lot of brands, even more traditional brands, they are using social media to create awareness. Of course, they understand the importance of using social media to create awareness. So it's no longer enough just to just to advertise, but you have to have your social media platforms in order to bring create awareness, and of course favorability is very important. Yeah. So posting visuals and videos about their product or service to grab the attention of their target audience, especially Gen Z. And of course, brands use interactive stickers elements to create more creative and visually appealing content, which I've mentioned before, whereby Gen Z are very much attracted to visually appealing content because of how cluttered we are living in this world today. And of course, it is significant for brands to interact and also to get connected with interactive stickers. So next would be brands use interactive stickers also. It is because they want to intrigue the interest of the audiences. Yeah, because of how interactive it is. A lot of times we don't realize how brands actually shape the way we see things, how all these social media shape the way we see things. We are getting more and more greedy, actually, in fact, because we are spoiled by a lot of new things. So yes, there are a lot of things that we can learn from, and of course consumers will pay more attention to the details and collect relevant information. So like I mentioned as well, social media has been the platform for Generation Z to find out information, to collect information, and of course brands to post stories about their latest promotions and exciting happenings, and consumers desire and connection with brands will be built as well. Yeah. And of course, it will also urge consumers to purchase the product or service from physical stores or online platforms. So this is actually the power of social media, Instagram, Instagram stories, interactive stickers in terms of the relationship between consumers and brands. So the research methodology that was undertaken for this research was online survey questionnaire. We had Generation Z as the respondents, and of course, they are between the ages of 17 to 25, living and staying in Klang Valley. So, from our results, we found out that we asked them when a brand is advertised through social media, does it intrigue your interest or not? So, from here, the results, yes, most of them they agree that for brands, especially for brands who advertise through using social media, it intrigues them because firstly, when they are on social media, they are already intrigued by the many things that goes on social media, and it's never ending. And secondly, also we found out from the results is that they said that of course for Generation Z, they prefer brands that are authentic. This is very important. They're authentic, which use real image in their advertising. They don't want brands to be too prim and too proper, like you lay down something that is too perfect. You know that it is something that is very hard sell. They don't want things that are very hard sell or too perfect. They want authenticity. They want to see something that is truly original from the brands. Yeah. So that's how they view brands. Next is that we found out that Generation Z also get a sense of belonging. Sense of belonging when the brand use interactive stickers on their Instagram story. So this is very relevant. When you talk about Generation Z, how do they interact with community? You hear a lot of stories that Generation Z, they may not because of the pandemic, because of technology, they may not know how to interact with people, how to find community, and so on. So social media is actually one of the space or place where um, Generation Z will find connection, community, and so on. And it's actually, it's not very surprising that they find a sense of belonging when they know that a brand uses interactive stickers, because interactive stickers, after all, it is used by them. And when a brand use something that they use personally, they will obviously feel a sense of belonging. Yeah. And this is also very interesting. We found out that we asked them, what do you feel when a brand use interactive stickers in the Instagram stories? So this is how they feel, and you can see that the results has been broken down. They said that it actually uh, gives them to enable them to give feedback to brands. They want their voice to be heard, right? Through any feedback that the brands ask them. It actually excites them when the brand uses interactive stickers, and they want to engage with the brand even more. They just they care about the brand. They want to engage back. They want to return something back, engage with the brand. And of course it educates them as well. Interactive stickers are not just entertainment per se, they are not just for fun, a lifestyle, but it actually gives them information, relevant information that they may not necessarily know and they want to know. Yeah. So there are a lot of things that interactive stickers are to Generation Z when a brand uses that. So next is that what are their actions when they said that they tend to share the story with friends. When brands use interactive stories, they will share these stories with their friends to provide relevant information such as promotions and also special offers. So it actually prompts them to take an action, and that is very important. When your consumer take an action rather than being passive and not do anything, like just skip your ad or skip this or skip your this, but you want them to take an action, you want them to be able to share it with their friends, and they do it because of these interactive stickers. And they also said and mentioned that they are very likely to actively participate in interactive stickers posts. The questions increase because they find it useful when they purchase a particular brand. So yeah, this is not just useful for brands, but also very useful for consumers. So it's like a win-win situation where they can find out a lot of information. And for brands, right, it is their responsibility in order to provide customer or consumer knowledge to the consumers. It is very important so that they know what they buy, what they are in for, what are the things that they should know. Yeah. So from here, we found out the research implications is that brands advertisement with graphics and visual contents will grab the attention of consumers, and it is very, very important. Yep. So secondly is interactive stickers work best in providing creative, visually appealing content to create awareness. And of course, consumers will engage or connect with brands and feel closer by interacting and getting connected. This is very important. It's no longer a silo thing. It's no longer two separate entities, but they are actually connecting. And of course, brands are highly encouraged, definitely highly, highly encouraged to use interactive stickers to create a definite way to persuade consumers. If you're a brand, please get to know interactive stickers and please try it out as well. Repetitive usage of interactive stickers will allow brands to get consistent attention as well. Consumers will start noticing you, and knowing what you do. Proven to be workable for brands throughout the findings, and especially when targeting Gen Z consumers. So the conclusion that we found out that we can make is that Gen Z, we know, is a challenging market, is a challenging group of consumers. But with much work, time, and effective methods, we are able to actually persuade them. But first of all, we need to understand why are they on this platform, what do they do on this platform, what are their expectations, their perceptions, and what will they do. And of course, if you're trying to be hard sell and with false advertising or not authentic advertising, it will not be accepted by Gen Z. Yeah, that means Gen Z will not be entertained, will not entertain this brand. Yep. And of course, finally, Instagram, as I've mentioned throughout the whole presentation, it's not just an advertising and marketing tool per se for businesses. Businesses shouldn't just look at it as an advertising or marketing tool, although it is. But they need to look at it in a new way with a new perspective, is that Instagram is there to be used by brands to entertain, to engage, to interact with your audiences. Yeah, so a lot of times brands crack their head. How do I connect? How do I engage? How do I be closer with my consumers? And how do I entertain them so that they love me? So brands out there, Instagram is a platform, and one of the tools that can be used is using interactive stickers. So there are actually a lot of things that this research can further explore, and we look forward to exploring more in the coming sessions. So thank you very much for listening.